Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk about the quant strategy, which I had told you in the previous video that I'll be discussing the quantitative aptitude strategy in the upcoming video. Okay, so let's start with our video, and before moving towards the syllabus and the strategy, first we will try to understand the marking scheme. Okay, so as you can see over here, that quantitative aptitude, it has 30 questions for 30 marks. Okay, and you get a time of 25 minutes. So in 25 minutes you have to solve 30 questions. Okay, so which is impossible to solve. Okay, and that we will be discussing now, how to solve and what to do. Okay, so yes, moving forward, as you can see there are 200 questions, and for every correct question you get 1 marks, and for every wrong answer you have negative marking, which is minus 0.25. okay, so you have to choose questions wisely because negative marking can cost your attempt. Now let's move towards the syllabus. Okay, so this syllabus, I have screenshotted this from the EduTap website, so all credit goes to the EduTap website. Okay, so let's start. So first is percentage, profit and loss and discount, ratio proportion, simplification, simple and compound interest, time and work, pipes and systems, number series, time, speed, distance, trains and boat, mixture, average, ages, partnership, area, probability, data interpretation, quadratic equation and quantity comparison. Okay, so this is the syllabus, and these are the topics which every bank exam has it. Okay, these are the common topics. Okay, now what is important? So look, most important topics, moderately important topics and least important topics. Again, I have taken this from the RBI website. Okay, so what are the most important topics? Number series, ratio proportion, ages, quadratic equation, data interpretation, profit and loss, percentage and partnership. Now, very important thing, these most important topics are based on previous year questions, like how many times this question has appeared from this particular topic. So it depends on that. So data interpretation, it has always been carrying highest marks. Okay, but for data interpretation you should know percentage, ratio proportion, okay, profit and loss. So basics should be clear. Okay, then comes the moderately important, simple interest, pipes and systems, compound interest, time and work, boats and stream, time, speed and distance. And least important is average, probability, mensuration, permutation and combination. Okay, so main and the most important thing is that when you see this most important, moderately important and least important, so least important doesn't mean you leave it. It means that you should not concentrate all your focus on those topics only. Okay, so your priority should be the most important ones, the moderately important ones and the least important ones, because nowadays you cannot predict any examination, and vacancies are less, so you cannot predict the paper. Okay, so maybe this time they can give something from permutation, something from mensuration, so you should be prepared. Okay, now let's move towards the strategy. So now at this time you should be practicing your mocks and your PYQs, but the most important thing is that if you don't have any idea about quants, then also the strategy is useful. Okay, so whether you have an idea or whether you don't, the strategy is useful. Okay, so step 1, first what you have to do is you have to start with the most important priority topics, assuming that we are starting it from 13th of May, that is today. Okay, so the most important topics are, as we have seen here, yes, the most important ones. Okay, and now what needs to be done? Okay, so this 13th of May to 2022 May, it means that what you have to do is from 13th to 2022 you have to do this one, that is the step 1. So what needs to be done? Now what you have to do is pick any topic of your choice, but it should be from the most important one. Okay, the most important topics that we have seen earlier. So you have to pick that topic which is most important one and which carries the maximum weightage. Now supposedly you are picking data interpretation. So what you have to do is you have to open your YouTube and search for the topic. Okay, so in the search bar you have to type data interpretation from basic to advanced. So you'll get some marathon series or something, but instead of doing marathon series, because marathon series is for revision, it should be a proper video which covers from basic to advanced. So as you all know, Kaushik Mohanty sir, he has he has his own classes on YouTube, career definer classes, so you can search on it. Okay, so at least those who don't have any idea about data interpretation, they can get a clarity. Okay, now what you have to do is, after watching that video, now the most important thing is, don't start making notes out of it. Okay, first listen to the video carefully. Then what you have to do is, you have to understand the topic. Okay, and then you have to try to solve the questions from basic ones to advanced ones. Okay, now that those questions you can take from YouTube or any set of books you get in market, easy books. Or first, before moving towards advanced question, try to solve the questions from SBI or IBPS PO and clerk papers. So I would recommend you, if you're beginner, then start from clerk ones. Okay, clerk papers. So these are available on any site. Okay, and then similarly practice other topics in the same manner. Now see, if you have taken data interpretation, exactly you have to follow the strategy. If you are taking any other topic, say average or anything, or percentage, ratio and proportion, you have to follow the same technique. Okay, now see, for if you are doing arithmetic, then you can refer Loda's arithmetic channel on YouTube. Okay, that is for MBA, I guess. Yeah, it's good, it's crisp and concise. Okay, now pinch of advice: before moving towards data interpretation, you should be thorough with your percentage, ratio, proportion and average, because this is the base for your any quant question. Okay, so first plan accordingly. Don't directly jump on data interpretation if you are a beginner, but if you know everything about percentage, ratio, proportion, then it's fine, you can start with your DI. Okay, remember, DI carries good weightage. Okay, now coming to step 2. Now after finishing the above topics, let's say in a week you have ideally solved many questions, like as we have discussed in step 1, that after watching the video you are solving questions. Now you have gained the confidence, okay, to solve the PYQ, assuming that you have solved the questions. Okay, now this timeline, this step 2, you have to follow from 23rd of May to 30th of May. Okay, now what needs to be done in this? Now you can pick RBI grade B previous year question papers, SBI PO previous year question papers, IBPS PO previous year question papers for practice. And what you have to do is, you have to take sectional topics. Now suppose if you take SBI PO 2025 paper, then what you have to do is, now see, I'll tell you. Okay, so if you are taking SBI previous year question paper of PO of 2025, so what you will do is, first you will see percentage. Now supposedly you have started your step 1 with percentage, so in step 2 first you will take percentage questions. You will mark all the questions and solve accordingly. Okay, then similarly in IBPS PO also you can take only percentage questions and solve them. Likewise solve the papers, okay, as much as you can. So you have to practice 30 questions daily, but from sectional topics. If you are taking percentage, then percentage only. If you are taking average, average only. If you are taking DI, DI only. Okay, let's say you have chosen percentage topics, so you solve all the PYQ of percentage topics. Now the most important thing in step 2, that if you are enrolled in any course, okay, any paid course, then even you can add other questions for practice along with the above papers, because paid course, they teach you that subject, topic, if like percentage, ratio, proportion, if they are teaching you, they also have quiz, so you can solve the quizzes as well. Okay, because always remember, the more you practice, more confidence you will get in solving the questions. Okay, so this is it. And remember this timeline. Okay, this timeline is for you to complete this in that period. Okay, now comes the step 3. Now this is the time to push yourself for the last round. Your step 3 is from 31st of May to 11th of June. Now we have exam on 13th of June. 12th is the buffer day, so you have to relax and chill. Okay, don't take tension on 12th. So now you are solving mixed questions. Now see, what I had told you in step 2 was that you have to solve only sectional topics. Okay, like percentage, average. Now what you have to do is, you have to solve it in like a real paper. Okay, so you are solving mixed questions. Now what you have to do is, in this period you have to start giving mocks daily. You can enroll in any mock test course of your choice. Okay, Because you know why? Because mocks they give you exam like feel, and they boost your preparation, and also you can analyze your preparation and you can know that where do you stand. Okay, and even if you get less marks, don't feel dejected. Instead, what you have to do is analyze your strength, look where do you lack, and then practice accordingly. Make a diary and write in it that this is the area where I'm lagging behind, or this is my strength, this is my weakness. Okay, just like SWOT analysis. Then what you have to do is, also mocks help you to choose the topics wisely because time is limited. Now this is very important. In 25 minutes you have to solve 30 questions. Okay, now it is not necessary that you have to solve all the 30 questions, and it is next to impossible, because the thing is, the questions are designed in such a manner that you cannot complete them in 25 minutes. Okay, but what matters is the choice of questions you make in this exam, because the clock is ticking. 25 minutes at home and 25 minutes at the center are totally different things. Okay, the clock is ticking, you are in a pressure, also you are in a hurry. So what you have to do is, this is the real game. So while doing mocks, make that thing clear in your mind, that what you will be practicing in mock, same thing you will be practicing in your exam. Suppose in mock, if you are comfortable with percentage questions, first try to solve all the percentage questions. Okay, if you are doing this practice in mock, similarly you have to do this in your exam as well. Otherwise, some people, what they do is they change the strategy at 11th hour. Okay, they'll do something else. So your mocks should be like your pre-paper armored, which is ready, okay, for the war. So the success of this exam depends on the questions you choose. As I've said earlier, it is very, very important. So this should be your priority to solve the questions. So what is the priority? Questions that you feel confident about. 100 out of 100 you're confident, yes, that I can do this, and you give me any question from this topic, I'll do it. Do that thing. Suppose my strength is quadratic equation, so I'll start with quadratic equation questions only. Now if that is your strength, you should be so good in that topic that let any question come, you'll solve it. Okay, then comes the questions you want to attempt or are sure with, like 70-30. Okay, and then comes questions you are sure with 50-50. So 3 rounds you have to make. First is the sure shot round, second is the 70-30 round, and third is the 50-50 round. Now this is my strategy. If you feel this resonates with you, you can imply this in your strategy as well. But if you feel that you have different strategy, you are free to adopt that. Okay, now the most important thing, and which I have pinned, that is on 9th, 10th and 11th of June, try to solve RBI past papers. Okay, so RBI past papers of 2025, 2024 and 2023. Why? Because these 3 years they have different syllabus, like different nahi, I would say, like the questions are of good quality. Okay, 2022, 2021 and 2020 was relatively on an easier side. Okay, so why 9, 10th and 11th? Because that will make you feel like you are giving your exam. Okay, and solve accordingly. Get up in the morning, or RBI, what is the RBI morning shift? Get up, wake up at that time, take your rough sheet, take your pen, and start with your paper, just like real exam. Okay, now last but not the least, all the best for your preparation journey, and always remember, success is a decision. If you want it, work for it. Thank you.